Hey drummers, Jordan here. I just wanted to take you guys on a tour of the Roland SPD SX. This is the drum pad that we're using for this weekend. I wanted to play some of the samples for you and show you around. So first of all, the kit that we're going to be using, the kit that I set up for you guys, is called TS-org, which is short for organic. And I believe at all three sites on all three drum pads, it's kit number 26. So if it's not by default on kit number 26, which it should be, but if it's not, you can use these plus and minus keys to navigate to that kit. I'm using these mallets right now. That's just because I don't have any drumsticks, but you guys will be using drumsticks. Um, and so I'll just take you through the samples here. These first two pads are different kick drums. So this is kind of a lighter kick drum. This one's kind of a heavier hit. Then here we've got kind of one of your main snare type sounds. It's actually a clap sound. So you can use it as a snare. This sample you can also use as a snare, and it's more of just kind of like a swat type sound. Then here we have a tom that's kind of layered with a tambourine hit that you can use. And then these two right here are gonna be your main two tom samples. And instead of kind of natural sounding kit toms, I actually kind of went with more kind of thump type sounds. I'll let you hear these. And so you can use those like how you would normally use toms, and so you can kind of see how it still has a real organic feel, but it doesn't sound like a natural kit. Then at the top, that's your hi-hat. It's a closed hi-hat. And then last, we have this sample here, which is a rim click. And you can use that how you would normally use a rim click. And so this is a little bit different. In the past when we've used the drum pads, we've had sort of more electronic samples. This is a more organic feeling set of samples, but it doesn't necessarily mimic a natural drum kit, and that's going to be important in terms of your approach to these songs. So like for instance, if you're looking at the Lord Our God, the demo that we have up there, I think it was made with this in mind, so you can kind of use that as an inspiration to how you want to approach the other songs on this weekend. Several of the other recordings have full kits on there, and so what you don't want to do is just try to cover that exactly, because we don't have this. It's just that's not what this is set up to do. What you want to do is try to use these samples and create your own kind of interpretation of the percussion for those tunes. A few other things that I want to talk about with regard to this drum pad is if you need to, well, here, I'll take you through this. So down here at the bottom on the left side, these are the effects. You just really want to make sure that these are off. There's a number of different effects, like delay or a filter. But we really don't want to use any of that stuff for this weekend. So just make sure if these are on, there'll be a red light underneath the button, and you just want to make sure all those red lights are off, or things will start sounding weird. Here's your master volume, headphone volume. You shouldn't need the headphone volume because I believe we'll be going out the master, and you'll be monitoring through your Aviom anyway. If you need to adjust the volume of individual samples on individual pads, it's actually pretty easy to do that, and I'll show you how to do that. So you just activate the sample that you want to edit the volume of, and once you have that pad selected, on the screen there's a little it says pad vol, and then underneath it there's a button, so you just hit that button. It'll bring up a little menu, and you can use the plus and minus buttons to adjust the volume of each individual pad. And I think that's about it. So this is kind of what we'll be doing this weekend. I want you guys to be thinking about how you can use these sounds, how you can build up different types of percussion loops that would really complement these sounds and kind of the sound of the recordings that are on PC. So pay attention to those recordings. We're still doing those forms. We're still playing those chords and all that stuff. But drummers, I need you guys to just kind of be thinking about a fresh interpretation of these songs using these samples. So that's all I got to say to you guys. I know you guys will sound great, and I'll see some of you this weekend.